13 On Your Sidelines is back, and tonight Jacob Seuss makes his debut. Seuss comes over to WZZM from the great state of Arkansas, where he was also the sports director at our sister station KFSM. Him and his one-eyed cats look to make an immediate impact on the high school football scene, but not without his partner in crime, Yaobon Sue. The youngest person in the WZZM newsroom comes over to the sidelines after graduating from Hofstra University. His name means Thursday in Ghana, West Africa. So perhaps today is Yao Day. 13 On Your Sidelines is back. New faces, but the same great coverage. 13 On Your Sidelines starts right now.
On Your Sidelines. Your team. Your turf. Witness high school football. Yaobon Sue. Jacob Seuss. 13 On Your Sidelines. Sponsored by Rant Insurance.
We're back and better than ever. Happy high school football season to
love it.
all
We
those
love it. We
who
love it.
celebrate. We've had this day circled on our calendars for so long, of course, a long-standing tradition here at the station. Welcome into the 28th season of 13 On Your Sidelines. I'm Jacob Seuss.
I'm surprised you didn't say his name was Cobbler. But anyway, I'm Yaobon Sue.
That's for the second block.
Year 28.
Let's get comfortable.
Yeah, let's get comfortable first. Year 28 for the show. I'm trying to think of where we were 28 years ago. Oof. We were not alive. But it is year one for us.
Couple years after that.
Jacob and I, we are ecstatic to be a part of this great thing. 28 years running, nearly 30 years. We have great athletes to cover here in West Michigan. And we have a ton of action to get to. But first, we have some guests to introduce you to.
Some loud guests, some important guests joining us in the studio tonight. The cheerleaders from Rockford High School. Spoiler alert, Rockford had a big night, but we will get to that eventually because we're going to start with our game of the week. Forest Hill Central and Reeths Puffer, both coming off seasons that made their communities quite proud.
Exactly, and the Rangers won their first ever state title, and the Rockets had their best finish in a decade.
Tonight, these two teams kicked off their 2024 campaign in our 13 On Your Sidelines game of the week, so let's get right to the action. Reeths Puffer looking for their first win over FHC since 1992. Late in the first, Rockets facing fourth down. Mason Drake finds Ethan Muscovin for the first down. That would set up this. Owen Ritzma, in all the twilight glory of that sunset, 27-yard field goal to make it 3-0 Reeths Puffer. So we go early in the second. Same score later in the frame when Bryce Muscovin breaks a big run around left end when FHC's Adam Petrosky gets the big hit. Ball comes loose. Alexander Dixon jumps on it. And out of the second half, Rangers up 7-3. Nick Williams keeps it, weaves 49-yard score, 14-3. Reeths Puffer would continue to fight as Sage Seacrest, 5-yard keeper, cuts the lead to 14-10. We had a ball game. The Rangers had their offense rolling. Williams to Ty Ryan, who makes the contested catch, holds on for the big game. So a few plays later, they're still on the move. Williams, he's going to go up top once again and find Ethan Muscovin. Muscovin's all over the place. 33-yard score for a 21-10 lead. FHC's defense would seal it from there. They brought the pressure all night. Matt Sexton puts the game away with the pick off the deflected pass. Rangers with a big win on opening night. They knock off Reeths Puffer 21-10.
The fumble recovery is huge. You know, Coach Rapp has made a huge emphasis on turnovers this year in the offseason and in the fall. We've had lots of turnover circuits. We're always looking to punch at the ball, always looking to get an extra edge, extra possession, and that kind of relaxed us a little bit too. I think, you know, we had some guys playing for the first time that hadn't played in a little bit and kind of relaxed them too, and then that just let us play hard.
So you have a Rangers team, Yao, coming off a Division III state championship, and a Reeths Puffer team that certainly held their own tonight, but at the end of the day, the state champs get the job done. Another win for them on their home turf.
I was trying to figure out how many times you said the name Muscovin.
All over the place. And there's more
eventually.
than one Muscovin out at Forest Hill Central.
Beast. Monsters everywhere. Fantastic game. You can see the plays here. They were dominant all night long. You can see why it was the game of the week. But we also had another big game over at
Yeah, we did.
Rockford.
Yeah, we did.
Right? Come on. Can we hear some noise for your Rockford Rams? Come on. Rockford opening its season tonight with a game that gained statewide interest. It faced Detroit Cass Tech, a team ranked number 4 in Michigan by the Detroit Free Press. Rockford is ranked number 11 on that same list. Rockford hasn't had a losing season since Bill Clinton was president. None of us were alive then. And in tonight's game, it was the first matchup between these two teams. Seth Sendry gets the snap and makes a quick throw to Alex Graham, who makes a guy miss and runs it all the way for a touchdown, making it 23-13. But the Rams defense came to play. Cass Tech's on their own 42. QB gets the snap and attempts to throw, but would get picked off by Austin Anderson, who will take it all the way for the score, making it 30-13. Fourth quarter now. Under 2 minutes to go. Technicians from the 32, and you're going to see Seth Sendry here. He's going to kind of throw.
We love defensive plays, though. Got to show some love for the defense.
We love defensive plays, but here we go with Seth Sendry throwing a dart to Corey Sadler Jr., who makes the grab, makes it 30-23. We also like our cheerleaders, obviously. And after a quick 3-and-out by the Rams, it would come down to a 4th and 8 from the Rams zone 14. Seth Sendry gets the snaps, but the pass would fall incomplete. Rams win 30-23. And when I saw the schedule, that was a game that caught my eye immediately.
Absolutely.
2 of the top teams in all of Michigan, but you can see why Rockford has that standard of excellence.
And Detroit Cass Tech was ranked ahead of Rockford in those standings that you mentioned coming into the game. Even in Rockford's own place, they were considered underdogs, but they went and got the win. Huge win for the Rams.
And meanwhile, one of the biggest stories from the offseason was the exodus of 7 former OK Conference teams who formed their own league, the River Cities Alliance. Lowell was one of those teams, but the shift wouldn't keep them from facing their arch rivals from East Grand Rapids, the Red Arrows and Pioneers, facing off for the 56th time. Lowell led 14-13 at the break, but it was all EGR in the second half. Early third quarter, Carson Thornton finds Luke Stark for the 15-yard gain. The Pioneers would not score on that possession, but they had all the juice on their next drive. A little over 5 minutes left in the third. Thornton off the play action gets it to Josh McKeon on the crossing route. A 35-yard catch, but that was just a tease of what was to come from McKeon. 2 minutes later in the third, EGR trails 14-13. Josh McKeon at quarterback now runs it up the middle on the QB keeper, a 12-yard touchdown. The junior tallied 11 rushing touchdowns a season ago and picks up right where he left off. EGR up 19-14. Later on, 13 seconds left in the third, McCunn can also get it done through the air. A dime to Dylan Buck. He's not getting caught. A 33-yard touchdown for Buck. EGR would nail the PAT and extends the lead to 12. EGR scored 20 unanswered points in the second half. The Pioneers roll to a 33-14 win. So we had Josh McCunn. He caught a touchdown, he rushed for a touchdown, and he passed for a touchdown. Potential MVP.
Unbelievable outing. Maybe we will see him next Friday night, but let me tell you, yeah, that only counts as one win in the standings, but for EGR, it's a whole lot more than that.
What is it that high school coaches love to say?
Bragging rights.
What is it that high school coaches love to say? Take things day by day.
Day by day.
Step by step. We've heard it from everybody.
Great start for them. In 2024, off to a fresh start for both Kenowa Hills and their head coach, Don Fellows. The Knights haven't had a winning season since 2011. Fellows, though, getting a chance to coach again after being arrested last fall and then fired from his job at Grand Rapids Union. The Fellows era at Kenowa Hills started tonight with a home game against Forest Hills Northern. We go to the fourth, Knights up 10-0, but on the first play, Ike DeHaan, he's soaring, he's flying, not a star in heaven he can't reach. It was 10-7, and on the ensuing drive, the Huskies defense provides the bang. Big-time sack, and the cherry on top, Northern comes away with the football and a chance to take the lead, and that's exactly what they would do. Evan Ostapo heads up the middle, makes a detour for the corner, and goes on in for the Huskies' first lead of the game, 14-7 in the fourth. We go 4 minutes to play, trying to trim down the clock, but the Huskies quarterback, Owen Ostapo, does a whole lot more. The offensive line paves him a path right down Main Street. He's in for the game clincher. What a fourth quarter comeback tonight for Forest Hills Northern, who takes down Kenowa Hills 21-10.
And week one is all about new beginnings.
And maybe nobody knows that better than Holland and Ottawa Hills. Coming up next, why these two teams might be hungrier than most for a win.
Plus, Sparta and Wyoming face off in a week 1 matchup that sort of renews an old rivalry.